guys, it's me Chloe. Welcome back to week 3, day 8 of Project 15. Hope you're having a wonderful day and thank you for taking your time out of your morning, afternoon or night to focus on this. So today we're going to be talking about how Jesus calms a storm. So everybody, let's pause and go to that. Cut!
G'day teenagers. I hope you were encouraged reading the story about Jesus calming the storm. Jesus grew up in a region of the Middle East called Galilee. And Galilee has a big lake called the Sea of Galilee. And the Sea of Galilee is a great spot for fishing. So many fishermen would take their boats out and fish to catch as many fish as possible. And you know that many of Jesus' followers, many of his closest students, were actually fishermen. So, as is customary for fishermen, they get up really early in the morning to tend to their nets and to hop onto their fishing vessels so that they can catch fish early in the morning when it's still dark outside and most people are asleep. So, like any good fisherman, most of Jesus' followers who were fishermen would even sleep out overnight on their fishing vessels. And we encountered Jesus and his students in one such episode. They head out onto the waters late at night and they spend overnight on the waters. And it's at one such occasion where a violent storm breaks out. Now you can imagine today, storms can be difficult for fishermen to navigate their way through rough waters, even more so in Jesus' day when the boats were not as sturdy and they were rickety. So we encountered Jesus and he's fast asleep when a terrifying storm breaks out. Now you've got to remember, Jesus' students were experienced fishermen. They would have encountered storms on the Sea of Galilee. They would have encountered choppy waters on the Sea of Galilee on many occasions. But on this particular occasion, the storm is even more terrifying. The storm is even crazier. And you can imagine as the fishermen, as Jesus' students, are frantically trying to get control over the situation, trying to keep the boat level as it is being tossed back and forth by the waves, and the wind is swirling back and forth violently in the air, Jesus happens to be fast asleep. And his disciples frantically come and grab him and wake him up. They're desperate for him to waken because they think that they are going to die. And then what happens is Jesus, with his disciples terrified, thinking that they're going to die, it says that Jesus woke up. He rebuked the wind and said to the waves, "Silence, be still." And it says, suddenly the wind stopped and there was a great calm. Now, can you imagine being on board this fishing vessel, being on board this boat, and being in the midst of this terrifying storm, thinking that you're going to die? And then waking Jesus up, and then Jesus stands at the front of the boat and commands the wind and the waves to be still. And in an instant, the waves calm, the wind stops swirling and howling. You would be terrified. And that's exactly the response that Jesus' disciples give. It says the disciples were absolutely terrified. "Who is this man?" they asked each other. "Even the wind and waves obey him." And that's the question we want to take away from today's study. Who is this man? Who is this man, Jesus, who can command the wind and the waves to be still, and they listen to his command? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. Jesus is God. Jesus is the creator of this universe. Jesus created the universe. He created the planet. He created the trees, he created the land, he created the waters. So when there was a storm, Jesus as creator, as God, had the power to calm the storm. So I hope you take away that important message that Jesus is God and he created nature, and that is why he was able to calm the storm. Thanks so much for reading with us here today. Now let's go into our 7 minutes of prayer and we'll see you next time.